Do you want to see how we navigated Hollywood studios with lightning lanes with our 3 kids? Then this is a video for you. Hi friends, welcome back to Moms Make It Magical, where I share about our travels to Disney and beyond as a neurodivergent family. In this video, I'll be focusing on our day exploring Hollywood studios at Disney World with our 3 kids using lightning lanes. I'll be sure to sprinkle in sensory info as usual, and that should be helpful if you are planning to go to Hollywood studios with neurodivergent or sensitively wired kids. I'll cover exactly what our day looked like with timestamps so you can get a feel for what might be feasible for your own family. And at the end of the video, I'll share whether lightning lanes felt like it was worth the extra cost for our family at Hollywood Studios. And if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Before we jump into our day, let's talk about Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is one of the 4 theme parks at Disney World. It originally opened in 1989 as Disney MGM Studios and was designed to celebrate movies, television, animation, and the magic of filmmaking. Today, the park is home to some of Disney World's most popular lands, including Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge, where you'll find everything Star Wars, and also houses some of the best shows like Fantasmic and Beauty and the Beast live on stage. For this trip, we were staying at the Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. To get to Hollywood Studios, Disney World guests can use Disney bus transportation, drive their own car, use rideshare services, or if you're staying at select resorts, take advantage of the Skyliner, boat transportation, or walking paths. We took the bus from the Grand Floridian. One thing that helped us get a head start on the day was early entry. This is a perk available to Disney Resort guests only, and that allows entry into the park 30 minutes before official opening. If you're not planning to use lightning lanes, early entry can be one of the best ways to experience popular attractions before crowds build. Be sure to check when early entry hours are for your specific visit and check which attractions are available during that time, as this is always subject to change. Speaking of lightning lanes, let's quickly talk about how they work. If you visited Disney World before as a kid yourself, or maybe even like 5 to 10 years ago, you might remember Fast Pass Plus or Genie Plus. The current version of this line skipping option is called Lightning Lane Multipass, or LLMP. With Lightning Lane Multipass, guests staying at Disney resorts can purchase and book selections up to 7 days before check-in, while off-site guests can purchase and book 3 days before their visit. You'll be able to pre-select 3 attractions ahead of time, and you'll be able to book more once you begin your park day and start scanning into lightning lanes. There is a lot more strategy and other details involved with this, so I highly suggest watching other videos about how to effectively use this if you do plan on purchasing it. I do want to note that not every attraction is included in MultiPass. Some of the biggest headliners like Rise of the Resistance require a separate purchase called Lightning Lane Single Pass, and that's kind of like an a la carte type model. And then there are some attractions that don't offer lightning lanes at all. For example, the People Mover at Magic Kingdom and things like character meet and greets. The pricing does change by date and park, and that can make budgeting a little bit tricky. Let me show you the breakdown of lightning lane attractions at Hollywood Studios at the time of making this video. As always, this is subject to change. For this trip, we did decide to purchase lightning lanes, and the 3 attractions I booked were in Toy Story Land, and I was able to book a few more throughout our day. So let's see how our day unfolded. We headed to the bus stop around 8:40 in the morning and caught a bus over to Hollywood Studios. This is the only Disney transportation option to Hollywood Studios from the monorail resorts. We arrived at the park shortly after early entry had started, which was 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. that day. And always check beforehand for the park's hours and early entry times, as this can change even the day before. After going through security and tapping in, we officially entered Hollywood Studios around 9:15. Our first attraction of the day was Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. This was not a lightning lane. We simply took advantage of arriving early and headed here first. We were in the pre-show by 9:24, moving through the queue by 9:27, and boarding our train around 9:30. This is one of my favorite family attractions at Hollywood Studios because there's no height requirement and everyone can ride together, and the storyline is pretty fun. For sensitive kids, there are some loud moments, sudden movement effects, some darkness and a ton of visual stimulation. The pre-show especially could be a little startling for sensory sensitive kids, but overall I think it is one of the more approachable attractions in this park, which is full of more thrilling rides. After exiting Runaway Railway, we headed to Toy Story Land.
Hi, we're ready for a fun day at Toy Story Land. Yay!
One thing to know about this area is that shade is extremely limited. During hotter months, this can become one of the warmest parts of the park. Our first lightning lane of the day was Toy Story Mania, and we entered the lightning lane queue around 9:52 and we were on the ride by 9:59. This is always a family favorite because it's interactive and basically all our family members enjoy video games of any sort. The ride vehicle can be a little bit jerky and there are some scenes that are louder than others. It's also a completely indoor attraction, which can be good if you're trying to escape the heat in Toy Story Land. I do want to add a little parenting tip. Toy Story Mania exits directly into a gift shop, as do many other attractions at Disney World, although not all of them do. If your child struggles with transitions or impulse purchases or disappointment around souvenirs, it can be helpful to talk about expectations before your trip rather than after you're already surrounded by all the merch. At this point, we were ready for a real breakfast. We actually didn't have breakfast before getting to the park. I just brought some fruit and granola bars to munch on to hold us over for a little bit so we could knock out at least one attraction during early entry. I had mobile ordered from Woody's Lunchbox, which is one of our favorite quick service locations in Hollywood Studios. Mobile ordering is one of my favorite Disney planning tools because it cuts down on waiting and helps us preserve energy throughout the day. Do keep in mind to mobile order early if you're planning to eat at a peak dining time or at a popular spot like Woody's Lunchbox. You can decide what time frame you want to come get your food, so it's better to do this sooner than later, or you might find yourself waiting longer than you hoped for an available time window for your food to be ready. Next up was alien swirling saucers using Lightning Lane. This isn't really necessary to get a Lightning Lane for, but because we were in the area and we wanted to limit walking, I thought it would be a good one for us. We tapped in around 10:53 and boarded shortly before 11 o'clock. This ride has a 32-inch height requirement and it's an outdoor but covered attraction featuring the aliens from Toy Story. You'll load into the back portion of an alien-driven vehicle and take a spin on the turntables. While this ride looks fairly gentle, the spinning and kind of whipping motions can feel more intense than some families expect. If you have motion-sensitive kids, that's something to keep in mind. From there, we made our way into Galaxy's Edge. Even if you're not a huge Star Wars fan, the level of detail in this area is incredible, but it can be a little overwhelming for some kids. There is a lot of background noise, just kind of adding to that overall ambiance to the land, and it's such a big visual change from the Toy Story area that it can take a bit to adjust. It also has a tendency to get very busy and crowded. Next, we rode Millennium Falcon's Smugglers Run. This was another Lightning Lane that I was able to pick up after I had scanned in. One thing I like about this attraction is that everyone has a role during the mission, which helps keep kids engaged. For some kids though, the motion simulator aspect can be a little overwhelming, and you may get bumped around a lot, especially if the pilots are having a hard time navigating the plane. Parts of the queue are also very dark and can feel a little bit confined. We had to use rider switch for this since my youngest at the time was too short to ride. Rider switch basically allows you to take turns on the ride while an adult stays with the kids who can't or don't want to ride. When it's my turn waiting, I usually like to take our youngest to explore nearby or grab some drinks and snacks for everyone else to enjoy once they finish with the attraction. While it was my husband's turn to take the older kids on Millennium Falcon, my youngest and I were walking around Galaxy's Edge and we caught the First Order presence near the TIE Fighter. This could be a little scary for some kids, but these little unplanned entertainment moments often end up being some of the most memorable parts of the day. At 12:10, we use the lightning lane for Slinky Dog Dash. This is one of the most difficult lightning lanes to secure at Hollywood Studios, so I was really happy we were able to include it in our day. Slinky Dog is a great starter roller coaster for many kids, but if your child is nervous about roller coasters, the speed and hills can still feel a little intimidating. Slinky Dog Dash has a 38-inch height requirement, and the entire queue and ride is completely outdoors. Keep this in mind if you have kids who get overheated easily. I would avoid standing in the long queue during the middle of the day when it's the hottest. We had to use the rider switch for this as well since my youngest was too short to ride. While I was waiting with my youngest, we were able to spot the Green Army Men, which is always fun. Next, we headed into what was Disney Junior Play and Dance. This has now changed into Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live. The new show is basically Mickey and Minnie inviting you to Mickey's house for a fun-filled celebration, and their friends Goofy, Daisy, and Pluto haven't made it yet, so they are trying to take the road and find them. The concept is a little different than what it used to be, but it's still an indoor stage show with lots of music and dancing. This ended up being a nice break from walking and waiting. It's a great way to get indoors into air conditioning and gives younger kids a chance to move their bodies. There is really never a long wait for this one, and you just have to know when the next showtime is, which you can see in the My Disney Experience app, which you must download before your trip. Around 1:05, we grabbed frozen lemonades and sat outside what used to be Star Wars Launch Bay in the shade. This was an interactive walkthrough attraction which featured behind-the-scenes exhibits, film props, concept art, and exclusive meet and greet opportunities with characters like BB-8, Chewbacca, and Darth Vader. The entire animation courtyard has been in the process of being completely revamped right now. This will include an indoor play area, more character meet and greets, and an animation class hosted by Olaf himself. But regardless of all the changes going on in this section of the park, the one thing you'll notice throughout our Disney days is that we intentionally build in downtime. For our family, these breaks are often just as important as the attractions themselves. When you're dealing with heat, crowds, noise, transitions, and just constant stimulation, taking a break before anyone reaches their limit can make a huge difference. Next up was the Frozen Sing-Along Show. I used the lightning lane here, but it really isn't necessary for the shows at Hollywood Studios. This is one of our favorite shows at Hollywood Studios as it appeals to both kids and adults. It's honestly one of the funniest shows and I enjoy it every time. It's another opportunity to sit in air conditioning for almost 30 minutes. Do keep in mind that it can be a little loud. There are lighting effects used with snowflake projections on the walls, and everyone does get dusted with a sprinkle of fake snow at the very end. The longer duration of the show could be difficult for some kids as well, so if you need to leave early, try to sit towards the back and find a cast member to help guide you out to the exit if needed.
I love those historians. MacLeod, thank you so much.
I guess thank you, Eric, and you, Aria.
Yeah.
The Royal Historians of Arendelle. We're happy to be a servant, aren't we, Eric?
I'm happy to be in public.
Today's the Arendelle Festival, and I have the perfect way to help celebrate.
By this point, we were ready for a late lunch before continuing on with the rest of our day. I know this doesn't work for every family, and sometimes we'll opt to eat our meals during off-peak times so it's less crowded and easier to find tables. We grabbed a couple of things from the Sunset Ranch Market area, and this is all outdoor seating, but it's still easy to find shade. After lunch, we watched Beauty and the Beast live on stage, and this is one of those classic Hollywood Studios offerings that's been around for years and remains a nice opportunity to rest your feet while still enjoying some Disney entertainment. It's a shortened version of the Beauty and the Beast story, but you'll definitely see the scene where Beast is stabbed by Gaston. I'd preview this with your kids on YouTube if you think this might be a concern. It is an outdoor but fully shaded theater with huge fans on the ceiling, and it's also easy to step out if your kids don't want to stay for the whole thing.
Good morning, monsieur.
Where are you off to?
Oh, the bookshop. I just finished the most wonderful story about a beanstalk and an ogre.
That's nice. Marie, the baguettes. Hurry up.
Look, there she goes. The girl is so peculiar. I wonder if she's feeling well.
With a dreamy far outlook.
I don't know, stuck in a book.
What a puzzle to the restaurant. I want adventure and great white somewhere. I want it more than I can tell. And for once it might be grand to have someone understand. I want so much more than they've got planned.
You've got more adventure than even she.
There is nothing to worry about.
No, nothing. Just our entire future.
Hello there.
Be our guest for dinner.
We keep it simple.
What are you talking about? What's going on? Come on, Mom.
Come along, Chip, dear.
Oh dear.
No need to worry.
We'll keep it simple.
Hi.
I had also snagged a lightning lane for Rock and Roller Coaster, so we headed here after the show. This has since been rethemed from starring Aerosmith to the Muppets as of May 2026, though the actual ride track is the same. So while this footage, which was taken in April 2025, doesn't reflect what the attraction looks like now, this was a big moment for our family. Our oldest daughter, she rode Rock and Roller Coaster for the very first time, and this was a big deal because she was scared of roller coasters for a long time when she was younger, and was especially nervous about trying a roller coaster that went upside down, but she did it, and she has since gotten a lot more confident in trying new things. Next, we headed to Muppet Vision 3D, which has since closed on June 7th, 2025. Looking back, I'm not sure why we trekked all the way to the opposite side of the park for this, but I think my older two really wanted to do this. This attraction is not a favorite for our youngest in the past, who was really scared of this show, so he and I skipped out while the other two kids went inside with my husband. Another tip that I've learned over the years is that it's okay to split up your family. Not everyone is going to like the same thing, and we don't have to force the group to stay together simply for the sake of staying together. This area will eventually become home to Monstropolis, a Monsters Inc. themed land, which will feature the Monsters Inc. door roller coaster, and it will be Disney's first ever suspended roller coaster. I'm super excited to see what this will look like, but it kind of seems to underline the stereotype that Hollywood Studios is mostly focused on the thrilling rides, aside from the small handful of attractions and shows that the whole family can enjoy. Our final attraction of the day was Tower of Terror. We used both Lightning Lane and Rider Switch here. This is definitely one of Disney World's more intense attractions. Between the darkness, the anticipation of the drops, the slightly creepy theming, and the actual drop sequence, it really isn't for every child, and that's okay. It's important to remember that successful Disney trips aren't about getting everyone onto every attraction. They're about helping each family member find experiences that they'll really enjoy. My older two rode this for the first time this trip. My middle child said it was so scary and he would never ride it again. The anticipation really got to him as he repeatedly asked me, "Are we going to drop now? Are we going to drop now? Are we going to drop now?" from the moment we sat down.
Once again, this time, it's opening for you. We're about to discover what lies beyond the fifth dimension, beyond the deepest, darkest part of the imagination, in the Tower of Terror.
After that, we headed back to the Grand Floridian for dinner in our room and a quieter evening. Unfortunately, our middle child ended up getting sick later that day with vomiting and diarrhea, which definitely wasn't how we expected to end the day, and thankfully we were able to adjust our plans moving forward. Overall, this did end up being an enjoyable Hollywood Studios day despite how it ended. So, was Lightning Lane worth it? For our family, I'd say yes. Could we have done Hollywood Studios without Lightning Lanes? Absolutely. But Lightning Lanes for this park especially gave us some more flexibility throughout the day and allowed us to spend less time standing in queues and more time eating, resting, regulating, and actually enjoying the park. And this is a big deal at Hollywood Studios, as many of the attractions here tend to develop very, very high wait times throughout the day. And for families with neurodivergent, sensory sensitive, or easily overwhelmed kids, that flexibility is incredibly valuable. Let me know in the comments, do you usually purchase Lightning Lanes at Hollywood Studios, or do you prefer to skip them? And if you found this video helpful, please give a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching, and let's keep making magical memories with our families.